Hey, what's going on, guys? Back with another Foul Mouths interview. And we got the regular crew in the house. There's no Lucky High today, but we got the man himself, the Filthy Mouth Gamer in the house.
What's up, baby?
And we got the producer, DJ G.
Yo, what's up?
And today we got a very, very, very special guest. You guys know him. If you watch YouTube, you know him. If you've seen Taj.0, you've seen him on there. You've seen him on MTV. If you listen to us, you've heard us cover him numerous times on this network, the bad and the good. We spoke with him the other night on a live show that we were doing, kind of connected, and I apologized on air. Not so much for pointing out things, but for being a little harsh and going a little overboard. I mean, I know we're doing a show for, and I said to him entertainment value, but really it's more than that. And let me introduce the man himself, the legend of YouTube. And honest to God, he's a really good person. He's got great fans, the Tommy heads. The man himself, Mr. TommyNC2010.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on your podcast. Now, here's the thing. You said you talked good and you talked bad about me. I really think that the way you say that you talked bad about me, I really don't think that there was a lot of extremes to what you said, and here's the thing. I have accepted your apology, but the one thing about it is I think when you did that podcast that night, you really didn't know who I was, and you really said, this is the kind of guy I'd like to take a shit in his mouth.
No, that was me, by the way, Tommy.
That wasn't me.
That wasn't Ken. That was me, and that's why I'm the Filthy Mouth Gamer.
And, we always get confused on here a lot, like with who's saying what, but I mean, even though he said it and I didn't say it, it's still on this network and it's still this show that said it. And you're right. Listen, when we first spoke to you on that live show, you said to me that you really weren't mad about what happened, but you just couldn't believe some of the stuff you heard. And I got to tell you, I know whether you believe it or not, most of it was for the theatrics of the show. When we did that episode, we were like a month and a half into doing the show. We were wet behind the ears. We still are. I mean, but it was so early on in the whole thing that the first couple of shows we did, we were like gun ho. We were bringing up everybody. We were just going nuts. We were saying what we wanted to say and we got it out, and we never thought of the repercussions of somebody actually sitting home and listening to it. Like, we never thought that you would hear it. But that's no excuse. But, we never thought that certain people would hear what we're doing. But you heard it. Joe Cronin heard it. There's a couple other people that have called me out for things that we said. And we do try to stand by everything we say on the show, especially keeping it 100. Because what's the reason of lying? You know what I mean? Yeah. As far as him or me saying, take a dump on your chest and all that, listen, I apologize for that. Like I said, it's for the theatrics, but it's no excuse. But I already apologized to you on air and in private.
Understand.
And once I spoke to you for the first time, I saw who you really are. And it's not a wonder to me now why you have a lot of people on here that look after you and got you back. And I know why these people do now, because you are a genuine person. Since I've spoken to you on Skype and all that, and I could tell, like you said, I didn't know you. Can
I say something?
Sure.
And to be honest with you, I'm not to be rude, and I'm not trying to be mean when I say this. That's actually the first time I actually found out about you, and my friend actually sent me a link to your show to why Tommy C was saying the stuff about you, and I'm just saying because he's my friend.
Yeah.
And I found out about what was going on with you because of him, and somebody sent me a link to your show, and I was watching your show, and that's how I found out about you. I didn't know about you before all this unfolded, and I don't mean to be negative, but that's just the truth.
No, it's not negative at all. That's not negative at all, man. We have small amount of subs. We're a small network. We're only 5 months into it. Yeah, I have a history on YouTube, as far as working with your friend. So I've done other things, like I said, but on this network, we're only like 5-6 months into it, and we're small guys. I don't take offense to that at all. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I mean? You have to start from somewhere.
I get what you're saying.
And you made me learn a lesson, to be honest with you. I mean, I stand by a lot of the things that we said that day on that show, but there are things that I said were totally for the show, which is no excuse, like I've been saying. And, like I said, I've apologized for that, and it sucks, but it sucks that I had to meet you that way anyway. You know what I mean? To be negative right off the bat, and you're such a positive guy, but you do show negativity too sometimes on your network, but you are a positive guy. And I think with you, you're either really, really, really positive, or sometimes you could be down on yourself, and you make those videos sometimes where you're down on yourself, and I'm sitting there saying, why is he down on himself? I don't know.
Nobody knows what it is to live in my shoes.
Yeah,
no one knows what it is to walk a mile in my shoes. And I live with struggles every single day, and I do my best just to pull myself up in the morning, put a suit on, and turn on the camera. And, I work at a part-time job. I've worked at that job since September of 2006, and YouTube has been a hobby, and it just recently I've thought of YouTube also maybe as a job, but at the same time I'm still trying to struggle with the fact of just how many people like to watch me and how many people could actually fill up a coliseum watching me. Yeah. And it just makes me feel good of how many fans I actually have. And
and something, you have a unique type of fan. Your fans are extremely loyal to you. Extremely loyal to you. When we said some negative stuff, we got some bad feedback from some of your fans, which we expected. And I'm telling you, your fans are very loyal people. You got a certain type of fan, and you got good fans, man. I got to tell you. When we said positive stuff later on in a couple of other episodes too, which is out there, if anybody wants to hear, I'm not lying. We said positive stuff about him. There was one episode where we came on, and Tommy was back to doing this good content where he was hiking and he was mingling with people he don't know, and you were doing all kinds of cool stuff. You were donating at this point. You and Hamza got together and you did some kind of fundraiser type of thing where you were going to donate.
Well, as you could say, with
that was positive stuff. You know what I mean? And we got on the air and we said, yo, he's back to himself. He's doing good things again. We love it when he's like this. Cause like I said, we were fans first. You know what I mean?
I understand. So you have to understand with Hamza, that was a bump in the road. That was, me and Hamza, we had an argument and there was a misunderstanding. And
I wasn't even talking about that. I'm talking about when you guys were doing cool stuff together. You guys went on this picnic / fundraiser thing. And yeah, and it was really cool because it was right after you were having a rough stretch on your channel. You were kind of down and out, and then all of a sudden you came back, and I remember it was a Tuesday, and you released a vlog, and on the vlog it was upbeat and it was fun again, and I was like, whoa, wow, he turned it right back on. You were positive again, after all the stuff that happened that week, and your programming was built around it. Because you're vlogging your life.
Yeah.
You're going to get the feedback of good and bad. So when you showed that video, it was all positive again. And I was like, nice, he's back. And then we mentioned it on the podcast and said he's back to his positive stuff again. And you know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying. We did point out the good stuff too. But unfortunately, the bad stuff is what everybody hears or wants to hear.
Yeah.
So you're going to get that, And like I said to you a million times already, I feel like shit if I said anything stupid that day. I didn't want to hurt you. I didn't want to hurt TommyNC2010, the YouTuber. I didn't even think you'd listen to it, and it was theatrics, but I apologize. It's no excuse. And
understand. I accept your apology. And the thing is that, I have to say that, I appreciate you. I can say that, as you said to me before, you said you were kind of fell out of your chair because you said that you didn't think I was watching your videos. I said, I wonder what this guy's going to do when he sees me comment on his videos.
Let me tell you something. What really sent me off the chair was on Twitter, I get a Twitter video of the FoulMouthsNetwork with the play button on it. And I'm like, what the hell is this? It's a video and it's coming from Tommy. So I press play on it and I'm like, uh-oh. And all of a sudden I hear us and I hear somebody go, I'll take a shit I want to take a shit on his chest. And I'm like, oh my God, he's watching the fucking video. He's watching. I called the guys that I work with on here on the show and I go, guys, TommyNC2010 is watching our video right now of us saying the most outlandish shit.
I know. And we didn't believe you. You're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I felt bad. I was like, yo, he's going to hear all this shit. And then my wife heard me speaking. And I've been telling Tommy off air, my wife so many times have said to me, I don't like what you said about him, and I think you guys need to apologize. And I'm like, you do know that I kind of got fired from Shot from Point for this, right? And she's like, yeah, but still, you need to make it right with Tommy. And I'm like, he don't know who we are from a hole in the wall. And then once I saw your video and you playing us, and she heard me, she was like, now you really need to like reach out and apologize. And I'm like, okay.
Well, that's the good point, is that, we all don't know each other. We all just voices on YouTube. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And if you don't know me, obviously people just think that, oh, he's the guy that says the darkest shit. He's the guy that says he's going to shit in his mouth. He's going to dig people up and fuck them and all that shit. But really, if you knew me personally, I've always been the guy to say the most shocking shit there is. And I just like to get, I've always, even since I'm a little kid, I've liked to get that rise out of people, to shock people, to get that thing. And obviously, Tommy, you didn't know me, so you would think, oh, I'm just a mean guy. I'm just and he's just attacking me, and the same goes for you. We only met each other today, really.
Yeah.
Talking to each
I got
other.
to say, though, with all that said, I give you a lot of credit, Tommy, for just even approaching us, because like you didn't know what you were going to get back out of that, like saying, hey, what if I when you sent that message on one of our videos, I think a little poo-poo came out at that point. And I was like, oh, Tommy just left a message like, can I be on your show? And I'm like, oh shit, like what exactly? And then
the question is, would you want to come on my show?
Okay, that's what it was. And I was like, oh no, man. I was like, shit, I should have worn a pair of fucking Depends diapers at that moment. But, and the whole connection to you're friends with Tommy and Dead on Dave, and listen, both networks have said things back and forth, and it's been, honestly, it's stupid, and I never wanted it to get to that point. When I first parted ways with those guys, you could ask these guys, they could vouch for me. I didn't watch any shows. I didn't comment on anything. I didn't bring anything up on any shows as far as what happened. I didn't talk about it behind the scenes. I just totally dropped it. I dropped it out of my life. I didn't talk about it. I wasn't salty towards anybody. I wasn't looking to get back on the show. I was looking to just do my own thing. And it went nice for for a while there. But then all of a sudden one day, I don't want to start swinging punches here, but one day all of a sudden, Tommy did a show where he ripped me and this guy. I don't know if you know the guy, Jack Malay. Do you know him, Tommy?
I don't think I know him.
He used to be on Tommy C's show all the time when they were doing hockey. And Tommy C ripped me and the guy, Jack Malay, for like an hour and a half on the show. So it started this whole snowball effect. You know how it goes on YouTube. One person says this, the next person says that, the next person says that. And then before you know it, it's one big shit show. So we didn't want that either, but you know what I'm saying? Like you wanted to defend yourself. That's how we felt we need to defend ourselves. We're the small kids on the block. We're the new kids on the block. And you got a guy, Tommy, who's got this following. He was on Beta and all this and that, throwing negativity towards us. And trust me, with his fans, we saw a lot of it, because we got the messages, we got the voicemails, we got all kinds of stuff. So we felt the wrath of it too. But something, we stood right up to it. You know what I mean? And we tried to stay firm in what we believed in, everything. But I got to say, all in all, in the end of all of it, it's all fucking stupid, because guys like you get hurt in the process of it, hearing negative shit said about you, when you're, for the most part, a positive guy and you try to be positive all the time. So yeah, it was stupid. The whole thing is stupid. The argument with them, having to apologize for you. I mean, but listen, do rest assured that we were doing it for the comedy value of it, and we were not trying to maliciously hurt you. You know what I mean?
Understand.
But enough of this negative shit.
Understand.
You know what I mean? We should move on to some positive stuff now.
Okay.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I gotta ask you this. I'm dying to ask you this.
First of all, ask me.
Yeah, ask. I want to ask you this. I want to ask.
Look at these ball busting you right off
It's
the
like that show. It's like that show King of Queens, when Carrie's trying to learn how to speak regularly, and she's trying to get that job, and she's like, axe. He's like, oh my gosh, I sound like an axe man.
Yeah, and he's a friggin' Met fan just like me.
I'm so sick and tired of that friggin' show. It's on every night when I go to bed. My wife's got it. I'm so friggin' tired of hearing it.
My life is query.
Friggin' bastard.
I'm the queen ball bed tonight.
Goddamn Scientology.
How about a big case?
Yeah, who is that?
of
Leanne
shit?
Remedy, right? Or something? Leanne? How do you say your name?
Well, she was a big Scientologist. As a matter of fact, there was something going on in the news that they're attacking her, the Church of
Oh,
Scientology.
yeah,
You know,
Scientology's.
Have
Yeah,
you watched
Yeah.
any of that?
what?
Like of her exposing the Scientology?
yeah.
No,
I watched.
I didn't watch any of it.
Oh, dude.
Mhm.
Oh man,
Interesting.
I'm hooked on it, man. Those people are brainwashed.
Tommy,
Yes, what's up?
are you religious at all?
Yes, I am religious.
Yeah.
Uh,
Do you mind
to be
saying?
honest,
Can you-
I am a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ as my savior, and yes, I am a Christian.
Yep, me too, man. What I've really been wanting to ask you is, do you believe in ghosts?
Not exactly. I don't know if I've not really come across any ghosts really, but I've heard, you get, when you walk into a building, they say it's haunted. You do get that I do get that eerie feeling. My hair will stand on the back of my neck.
Yeah.
But I've been to a place called Helen's Bridge.
Yeah.
And me and my friend Crystal went there, and I filmed for hours just trying to catch something, maybe just a glimpse. Because, they say, and I told Hamza to look in the footage, please look closely, see if he could spot anything.
Yeah.
Nothing popped up. And,
No.
but, the story of Helen is basically her daughter was killed in a fire, and she went down the bridge and hung herself with a chain. And she died there. Her soul sits there for eternity looking for her daughter.
And now this is a place by where you live?
Yes, in Western North Carolina, in Asheville. If any viewers of the FoulMouth Network come through Asheville, you should really check out Helen's Bridge late at night. It is really creepy, but I will warn you, it is a one-lane road, and you should really be careful about going up there. But it is, to locals, they go up there and they wait for Helen. There has been pictures taken where you can actually see Helen's spirit standing there. Yes, there's if you look up Helen's Bridge, there's been pictures from my locals here that taken pictures of, then they see her soul, they physically see her
scary
spirit.
shit, man. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's funny.
Shit.
We got a street by us that's like that called Mount Misery Road.
Oh,
People drive up there at night, supposed to see ghosts and stuff. Yeah, we got stuff.
Mary. You see Mary, the ghost of Mary. Let me ask you this. So have you always lived there in Ashton?
I live in Black Mountain, actually.
Oh, this is the town next to you, you're saying that the bridge is in?
Yes, it is. This is
okay.
I live in Black Mountain, and that's Asheville that I'm talking about.
Asheville. Have you you've always lived there your whole life?
No, actually, I'm a native Floridian. I'm from Florida, actually.
Get out of here.
I
Really?
moved
I
up
lived
here
in
around.
Florida.
I moved up here around in the mid 2000s, and I really didn't start YouTube until later on. It was back in, I would say, 2010 that I started making videos. It was immediately after MTV's Made, which I was on that show, the 200th episode. And if you watch that episode, I made the movie Oddball. You will, most people get the effect of, they get emotional when they watch that movie. And my episode is a very strong episode, I would say.
What was the name of the episode, like the show and everything, in case people don't know?
I'm trying to think of. I have a link that you could possibly post up, but the thing is, you have to have a subscription to a certain network of TV for you to watch it on their website, which it's really ridiculous. But I don't know if anybody has any of these networks.
Okay.
But
let me ask you this: what did they do? Did they fly you to? Where'd you go? You went to New York City and all that?
Basically, in that whole situation was, they came to my school first. They came to my school and they were interviewing kids. And I picked up the phone. I said, "Hey, Mom, I can have a thing to be on television. Can I stay after school? I want to get an interview." She's like, "Sure, do it, Tommy. Do what you want." And so I did it. I went to the interview. I waited and waited. I was the last kid to walk into that room, and we do the interview. She's like, "Okay, what do you?" I said, "I do impressions," and she's like, "Okay, what impression do you do?" I said, "Oh, I do the Joker." And I did this. I'm like, you know how I got these scars? My father was a drinker. My father was a drinker and a fiend. One night he comes home crazier than usual. Mommy grabs the kitchen knife to defend herself. Daddy does not like that. Not one bit. So he turns to me and says, why so serious? Sticks the blade in my mouth and says, let's put a smile on my face. And
So you did this to the lady?
why so serious? I leaked at her, dude. I leaked at her as I was laughing. I swear this woman, she leaked out of her chair. Don't jump towards the door. I swear, if the door had been open, she would have ran down the hallway. She said, what do you want to be? And I said, oh, what do I want to be? I want to be a movie director. And she's like, okay, next.
Now this woman was from MTV?
Yeah, she was from MTV, from New York. I can imagine her.
So what happened? You do the interview, right? And
I do the interview. I went home. I was, I didn't expect. I said to my mom, I said, I don't even think they're gonna pick me, Mom. I waited and waited, didn't hear anything, and then it was just like, kind of, oh, I should probably speak closely in the microphone.
You probably had a feeling somewhere deep down inside that you might get a phone call.
Maybe. Right? So what happened was basically I was just living life, not doing YouTube, and
how long? Was it? Like how long in between you did the interview and when they called you?
I can't remember. It was around December. Because my friend. Because here's what happened. There was another episode with a girl that wanted to be a rapper, and I knew her. It was at my school, and they followed her around, and I saw what they were doing, and so I didn't realize what I'd be.
Somebody else in your school had an opportunity on MTV.
Yeah, they picked her instead. They picked her from the bunch. She was actually ahead of me, and
now you must have saw that and said to yourself, "Wow, I would love to have something like that happen to me, man." You know.
And then I realized a couple of years later, down the road in December, I would have that happen for me.
That's awesome, man. That had to make you feel good, huh?
Yeah. So what happens is I'm just, hanging out with I'm hanging out with my best friend Ashley, and I get a phone call from my mom. I'm like, Tommy, you need to come home. I'm like, what's up? And she's like, you need to come home. It's important. I'm like, okay.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
I come home, and my mom and dad sit me down, and they say to me, Tommy, we got a phone call from New York. And I'm like, New York? Who do we know in New York? And they're like, no one, Tommy, but MTV called us. And I'm like, what? And they're like, apparently you did an interview? Do you remember this? And I'm like, oh, yeah. Yeah, for MTV's Made. They're like, they're interested in you, Tommy. And they're like, do you want to do this? Because you do realize these reality shows are stressful.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, I'd like to do it. And, they had me go to therapy just to see if I could take the stress, but I pushed myself all the way through the show.
What, MTV did or your parents did?
No, my MTV did. They had me go to therapy. What? Yeah, they wanted me to go to therapy to see if I could handle the stress of handling a reality TV show.
Wow.
So I actually made friends with one of the therapists. We were talking about Caddyshack, and we were good fans, so we kept making references.
Hey, everybody, we're all going to get laid. Okay, all right. I'll tell you, that hat looks good on you, okay? Yeah. You get a free bowl of soup.
We were just making references to Caddyshack. We were just laughing the whole entire time. She's like, oh, actually, now I have to actually ask you questions about what we're here for. I actually got her distracted. I wasn't trying to distract her, but we were just having a good conversation.
Yeah.
And so we did it, and then she sent her evaluations. They had two therapists. A real smoking hottie walks up into my room. I'm sitting with her, and she's asking me questions, and I'm just like,
oh yeah, keep talking like that. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know if that sounds horrible.
They were hooking you up, huh? MTV?
But yeah, she was a real smoking hottie, and
so
she asked me.
You passed this whole thing, right? Obviously, right?
Yeah, I get past it, and so they send a cameraman down, and he films the first a test. No one sees this footage, by the way. They want to see what would it be like to be in Tommy's shoes. What would MTV see? Why are they going to invest money to have a cameraman come down? So they have a cameraman come down. He's following me around the school. And right as it happens, a big snowstorm, like a 20-incher snowstorm comes in, and it dumps 20 inches, literally
What?
on North Carolina. He gets one segment of day at school for me, and then my school shut their doors because the snow was gonna come in.
Oh my God.
And my dad, they wanted to have a segment where I was gonna tell people I was gonna be a part of Made, and then the snow starts dumping as I'm telling people. Meanwhile, all my friends can't come up to my house, and so what happens is that all the snow, starts coming down.
Yeah.
And then my dad makes a promise to my cameraman, "Hey, I will get you home." And meanwhile, he had some problems because he had those stones,
Yeah.
kidney stones. He had kidney stones that
Get out
when
of
he
here,
was
really?
up to see me.
Oh wow.
So he was having trouble with that too.
Yeah. The cameraman was.
Yeah, he was having trouble with that. So my dad drove him
this
back
poor
on the
cameraman
Polaris.
was in a 20-inch snowstorm. He had friggin' stones. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
we thought we actually never heard from him again. And so when it came down the line, I got a phone call from the head of MTV's Made. Tommy, I still have the message on my phone, and he says, "Tommy, I have a phone call for you," and that was my changing phone call. I say that message on my phone all the time.
Man. So he left you a message saying that they wanted to do the episode.
No, he just said he wanted to talk to me, and then I got off work, went up in the office, and my managers watched me freak out. Like as he said,
Wow.
"Tommy, the episode's green lighted. We're sending a guy down to meet you."
Holy shit, man.
And so I started jumping up and down. "Tommy, are you okay?" I said, "I just got green lighted to be on MTV's Made."
Oh my God, man. So then they later on they wind up. What do they send to your house? Like a film crew?
Yeah, they sent one man. His name is Andrew Wonder. He's a nice guy, pretty funny. It was really funny because he was there for a while. He was there filming the episode. He shot a lot of footage with me, and we got to know each other pretty well.
Like, what were you doing when he first started filming you? Like, you were just hanging out in your house or whatever?
Hanging out in my house. I was doing stuff. If you watch the episode, I wish that I could upload it to YouTube, but I think I'd get a lot of strikes.
I'm surprised it's not on YouTube anywhere already,
I'm surprised too, and I'm surprised somebody didn't just download the episode.
I searched for it once on YouTube.
Just to let you know,
I couldn't find
my real
it. Yeah.
name is in that episode. You'll learn what my real name is if you watch that episode.
Okay.
Because TommyNC2010 did not exist.
Yeah.
I'm
How
not
old
going
were
to say
you?
my real name.
How old
here.
were you at that point, Tommy?
16.
16?
No, 19. A 19-year-old from Black Mountain, North
So
Carolina.
what exactly did they wind up doing with you now? Like how were you made? Like what did they make you into? Like what did they
movie director, exactly. I wish at some point you could watch the episode. But basically what happens is I get made into a movie director, and they have me make this first project, and then Chusey Jardine comes into the picture. He's won at the Sundance Film Festival. He's won some of his films, Somewhere USA. It's a really good movie. It'll have you laughing your ass off. He's a very creative director. Chusey Jardine. You can I bet you everybody's like, okay, click. I'm pausing this.
Go check him out.
Second. Let me okay. Who is Chusey Jardine? I'm really trying to find his where, I don't know. It was on Netflix for a while. The movie was on Netflix for a while. And it was really good. I watched it and I was really impressed.
And how do you say it's Jardine, his last name, right?
Yeah, Chusey Jardine.
Like Chusey.
Yeah, Chusey. Like I used to call him Squishy actually during the episode. One time I called him Squishy.
Oh no.
Or Juicy. I called him Juicy. Like, I don't know anybody named Squishy.
All right, wait. His last name was Jardine, right?
Yeah, Jardine.
Okay,
he's a bald-headed gentleman. He's had a beard occasionally.
I'm gonna ask real quick. Let me see. Who is
Chusey Jardine?
Yeah, I got him on. IMDb.
Yeah, I see him now. Chusey Jardine.
Yeah, he was my maid coach. He was the one that coached me through my movie.
All right, so
And he's
basically
Venezuelan.
So he comes in at that time, right? And he's the guy who like coaches you along with directing and showing you how to do it and all
He actually got
that.
pretty pissed with me also during the episode.
Why?
Because you just have to watch the episode and see for yourself how it unfolds.
I'd love to watch the episode. I'm trying to figure out how I can friggin' watch this episode. I go to YouTube for everything. You know what I mean? I'm shocked that something's
Everybody
not on
goes
YouTube, you know?
Everything. It's if you want anything, you're gonna squeeze YouTube. I turn to YouTube.
Does this sound familiar, Tommy? Listen.
I need a man because I need to see the Pope.
Is that his voice?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, look, maybe you can see this. Hold on.
A national historic moment.
That's the Pope, but look.
He goes, I need a man to go see the Pope, and you're the man. And I said, okay, Tia, that's cool.
That's the guy?
He shows up in
Yeah, that's him. That's Juicy Jardine.
Maverick.
So nice. So you go ahead and this guy comes in and he's like basically coaching you and you said you got him pissed off and all that, huh?
Yeah, I got him upset.
But he's a good guy though. What did you think of him? What was your impression?
He's a really good guy, and we're actually good friends. He came to my birthday. Actually,
Get out of here.
When I turned 26.
That's nice, man.
At the last moment he was back in town, and I said to him, "Hey, you want to come to my 26th birthday? We're gonna have it at a hotel." How greasy does that sound?
Yeah. You're a big fan of the Trailer Park Boys, huh?
Oh, I love it. Greasy.
I am a diehard fan of the Trailer Park Boys.
I spoke to Ricky and Julian and Bubbles.
Get out of here. How?
My friend James Worley snuck. I don't know if he kind of like just walked over to the trailer. He watched their whole entire thing. He's like, Tommy, just.
You know who that is, right?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I love them. You know what other show I love?
What?
You ready for this? Listen.
Take off your pants and your panties. Shit on the floor.
I've never watched that show, actually.
You never watched?
Rick and Hamza's in my ear. Tommy, you have to watch Rick and Morty. It's funny as hell.
I cannot believe you have not seen that show.
I just recently watched Guardians of the Galaxy.
I saw the video of you saying that. Yeah, I saw that. So you just recently watched the first one?
Yeah, the first one.
Guardians. What'd you think of it?
It was funny, and it had some turns for it, and sometimes I did get bored with it. I don't know why. I just sometimes with the film, but it was definitely funny. It had its funny moments, and I could just see of it being like a tape recorder of classical music. You know, do
you like Gru?
You talk about Groot.
I am Groot.
Groot. That's his name. Groot.
I am Groot. I am Groot. Yes, I know that already. You told me like 1,000 times, 4 times already.
That part's great.
Tommy, what is your favorite movie of all time?
One of my favorite movies. Well, I had to say, two of my favorite films would be Dante's Peak and Daylight, and Godzilla versus Megalon.
Wow, man, I wouldn't think that, man. I totally would not think that those would be your two favorite.
Well, here's a fun fact. The movie Daylight I saw in the movie theater on psilocybin mushrooms. Just so you know. And let me tell you something. It blew my mind. It made me really claustrophobic in that tunnel. It was crazy. And one of the craziest scenes in that movie is when the tunnel collapses and the explosion happens. The director said he wanted to be like a propeller. You know, poop, 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 poop. The fire explosion. Like a gun barrel, like it was exploding, and it was just like do, and then boom, you know. And it's like, can you imagine? I can't imagine myself inside of that tunnel, and I'm like, oh, holy crap, you know, like after Independence Day, the guy is just like sitting there in traffic, it's like, holy crap. The part that freaked me out the most is when I thought the dog died and it didn't make it under the water. And if the dog dies, then I'm finished with the movie. You know what I mean? Like all the other people could die in a movie. If the dog dies, I've had it.
The dog dies, that's it. I'm gone. Yeah.
Oh, the poor couple, the old couple is just like, she's just a little bit cold. No, she's a popsicle, old man.
I've never heard somebody do Daylight quotes. This is the first.
Oh, that's funny. Tommy, do you remember when we were talking on the phone and I said to you, I have a friend that does movie quotes a lot?
Yes.
That's him.
Oh, maybe
You've
not
never
me.
heard somebody do daylight quotes?
No, this is the first time I ever heard daylight quotes. No, let me tell you something. You're the only, besides me, you're the only other person that ever like said that they even liked that movie. I
You
love
calm down and you reach in and you reach your heart out. You know, like he's pissed. They're trying to escape, and he takes the TNT and he just shoves it into the mud, and he's just like, and they're trying to swim down because they're gonna blow. They're gonna a blowout. What do you mean a blowout? We have to have another explosion. But we just had another explosion.
a blowout's what happens in the toilet after I eat Mexican food.
Oh my god, man!
Tommy, you said you wanted to be a director.
Yes, I do want to. YouTube my philosophy.
Yeah. Oh my god. Somebody.
Oh my god, man!
That sounds like me after MTV.
That's what you're
That blew somebody.
I do laugh over a good.
All right,
fart
Tommy,
sound.
since you love movies so much, can you tell me what this is? You ready?
That's Caddyshack.
Yeah, I knew you'd know that one. I'm gonna give you a little
It's
bit
a
of fun.
no.
All right, you ready? Tell me what movie this is. You ready?
Okay.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Airplane.
Yeah, nice. This one you're gonna get very easily.
Oh, come on. Come on. Think of something good. That's Back to the Future, dude.
All right, what about this one? You ready?
Huh?
McLovin.
Oh, come on.
McLovin.
Are you serious? I know what that one is.
All right,
I
what
just-
about this one?
Okay. You have to do it.
That guy in little.
Tommy boy. That could sell a woman with a ketchup popsicle and white gloves. A woman with white gloves? Oh, he's too afraid to get out of the car because he's just a little guy.
What about this one, Tommy? You ready?
Okay.
The her.
Ace Ventura Pet Detective.
Yeah. He is good, man.
Not a tumor. It's not a
I mean, it's something like, wouldn't it be funny if it switched it around and Schwarzenegger goes like, oh my gosh, it's a tumor. Ah, I saw butterflies. Ah, no, it's a tumor. Ah!
He's like this. I just got some bad news. It is a tumor. What about
I
this?
don't think I should have slept with that Mexican. Oh,
About this one,
shoot,
you ready?
that's racist. I'm sorry, guys.
No, what do you mean? Hold on a second. That's not racist. She was Mexican. You know what I mean?
I think I should have stayed with my wife. Oh no, I'm screwed.
Why the fuck did I even bother to fuck the maid?
He shouldn't have
I
stayed.
could have just used the vacuum cleaner.
He
About
should
this one,
stay with
Tommy.
his
This
wife.
one might
His
be
wife
hard.
looked like the old woman in the Dark Crystal.
This one might be hard. Ready, Tommy? Listen.
Oh, I love the Dark Crystal.
I knew you'd like that.
Oh, by the way, you know what my is like? Silence, you idiots!
Again.
Oh wait, hold on. If you love the Dark Crystal, I'm gonna do a Skeksis impression right now. You ready? It was I. I brought you the gelfling.
I brought you the gelfing.
Yes, it's true. Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
Oh, shoot! Oh,
You know that's Bill Murray.
yes, Bill Murray. Yes, yes.
Yes, it's true.
Did you know a bunch of fans?
What about
A
this
bunch
one?
of fans actually screamed, "Hey, you, dickless!" I think that's what they said to him. They scream across there, and it's a bunch of Chinese people on a bus, and they look over at him. It's the guy. Hey, dickless! He's standing in New York, and these tourists, they're just seeing Ghostbusters, and they look over, and a bunch of them just start screaming that, and he's just like, oh.
Tommy, listen.
I'll go home and get your fucking shine box.
Goodfellas.
The greatest movie
he's really
ever.
good, man. What about this one?
You stupid fucking cunt.
That's a hard one to get. That is a hard one.
You stupid fucking cunt.
Wait a minute. It's either Al Pacino in Scent of a Woman or
God, this fucking kid is good. This kid is good. It's not Scent of a Woman, but it is Al Pacino.
Al Pacino. But there was a movie where they're salesmen. Like,
oh my God, he fucking nailed it.
Yeah, he's like salesman. The closers get coffee.
Yep.
Oh,
last price, you're fucking fired.
Stupid fucking cunt.
You nailed it, man. You nailed it, man.
Because he lies about the sale. He
lied about the sale and he called him out on it.
He called him out on it, and the guy's like, and then he curses him out because of him saying that he had the deal. He literally had the deal, and then the guy's
slipped through the fingers.
It slips right through his fingers because the
I know
boss.
you know this one. I know you know this one.
Wait, hold on. The name of that movie, is it Glengarry Glen Ross?
Yes.
All right.
Listen, tell me what this one is.
I bet you're the kind of guy that would fuck a person in the ass and not even have the goddamn common courtesy to give him a reach around.
Full Metal Jacket.
Nice.
This kid is good, man.
All right, hold on. Let me give him a quote. I'm gonna do a Jack Nicholson impression. All right.
You fucking cockroach.
Scarface.
All right, here's a Jack Nicholson quote from a movie. You ready?
All right.
Apparently, he's not happy here in Shangri-La because he's written letters to everyone but Santa Claus asking for a transfer.
An officer and a gentleman.
I think it's something's got to.
No,
Few Good Men.
A Few Good Men. Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh,
sorry.
name this movie. Name this movie.
Stick your cock up her ass, you motherfucking worthless cocksucker.
No, I don't know that one.
It's called My Life Story.
No, you know what it is? It's really a hard one, but that voice is. Listen, come on, listen.
Oh
one
yes. Oh yes, The Exorcist.
Listen to the. Oh my God, he got it! Holy shit! Damn, you're good, man. You are good, man.
Stick your cock up her ass, you motherfucker.
Did you want to keep asking me questions?
Wait. Yeah, I want to just do this one. Hold on.
Okay.
I ever saw. Well, you buy a hat like this, I bet you get a free bowl of soup.
Caddyshack.
Oh, it looks good on you, though.
It's when he's in the store and he's looking at all the stuff, the fancy dancy stuff. And
So you are very, very good with the movies, huh, man?
Yes, I love
You
movies.
are very good with the movies.
He wanted to be a director. Well, I was going to ask him, who's your favorite director of all time, Tommy?
I would say I have to say around Steven Spielberg and Chris Nolan.
Christopher Nolan's great. Absolutely, I totally.
I watched a YouTube video. I was like, but it was like, what's that noise? Nolan, Chris, Nolan, Chris, Nolan,
Let me ask you this real quick. Did you find yourself like coming away from that whole MTV, thing that you went through? Did you come away like? Did you learn something about it? Did you?
I learned a lot of things about the Hollywood spectrum and how movies are made, and it was really interesting. After
apply
MTV,
anything you learned to what you do as a YouTube star right now?
yes, quiet, rolling, action. I always learned that you don't just turn the camera on; you give it quiet, rolling, action. Then you just click record.
Yeah.
With vlogging, it's just simple. You turn the camera on and you just start talking.
Yeah.
And when you shoot a scene, a professional scene, and you want it to be natural. Those are the things you say to let. Quiet.
Yeah.
Rolling. That means, first of all, the quiet means everybody quiet on the set.
Yeah.
Rolling. That means we're getting ready to start filming. And action. That means everybody needs to shut up. We're going through with the project.
Yeah.
That's what those stages are. I learned that a long time ago when I was on Made.
So let me ask you this too. All right. So you're on Made, right? And
Yeah.
and you had these people. You had a cool experience. Something that doesn't happen just about everybody. So you're very lucky and privileged to have that happen to you. You walk away from that. When is about the time do you start YouTube and then all of a sudden the other show comes calling, Taj.0?
Okay. So how that all happened was MTV ended and my cameraman, Andrew Wonder, said, Tommy, I'm going back to New York. I'm done. We're done here. Like the whole episode aired, and it took him a while to release the episode. And
when you first saw the episode, oh my God, you must have went nuts when you saw yourself on that TV, huh?
It really had me.
It was a special time, right?
I couldn't. It was a special time. I couldn't believe I was watching myself on TV.
That's awesome.
All I'm gonna say is, if you watch the episode,
what you didn't think the episode was good?
No, you'll understand. It's a reference in the episode if you get a chance to get it to watch it.
Listen, I am determined now to watch this. I will buy the goddamn thing that I have to get to go in there to watch it. I don't care. I'm going to watch this video. So let me ask you this. Did you start YouTube in between you were on both shows, or were you on both shows and then started YouTube?
Well, just a second. Well, what happened was I got depressed. Really depressed because I didn't know what to do with my life. I didn't know where to go. What?
This is after MTV made?
Yeah, I got really depressed and I didn't know what to do with myself. I was doing my part-time job and I was like me and my mom were at Huddle House. And I'm like, Mom, I don't know what to do. And she's like, well, you want to be a filmmaker? Why don't you make music videos on YouTube? And I'm like,
Tommy, wait, let me ask you a question real quick leading up to this. So you were on the show, right?
Yeah.
After the lights, the camera, the action, seeing yourself on TV, you're going to school, people are talking to you about it. It's a really good time in your life. After all that settled down, it was back to normal again, right? And you were like, well, why ain't I moving on and doing what I wanted to do? Like, MTV made me do this. I learned about this. I want to become a director. So that's basically where you were at that point, right? You were like, what the hell is going on? I want to do this. Right?
Yeah, I got really sad and depressed, and reality hit me, and I was like, "Oh crap!" And so from there, Andrew gave me the vlogging camera, and I realized, you know what? The two people that kind of really inspired me, two different YouTubers that inspired me. One was the Nostalgia Critic, and two was Cool Duder. With his show called Don and Murph.
I absolutely follow him all the time, Cool Duder. I didn't even know that you knew of him. He's my little
dude.
Pet
He was
peeve.
featured. You say you watch all my videos. He was featured in my vlogs.
I watch all your vlogs, dude. I watch all your vlogs. I've been watching your vlogs for like. He was on a vlog.
I apologize.
He was on a vlog.
Yeah, he was featured in a vlog, dude. I was in his vlog. I was on the Cinestalkers vlog.
How the heck did you get? Doesn't he live in California?
I was gonna get to the other part also, how that happened.
Go ahead.
So just to say where I am now, I'm inspired by Cool Duder, the Nostalgia Critic, and so I start making videos on YouTube, short, like 10-minute videos, 1-minute videos, just little short videos, me sinking the Titanic, and just other little videos with my friends around town, and around that time, I have an accident around Thanksgiving. I delete all my videos accidentally.
Oh, shit.
I'm like, oh, crap. I just had a panic attack. I just fell out of my seat. And I'm like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And I'm like, okay, why don't I just start uploading? So I start re-uploading videos. It's taking forever.
Yeah.
And so what happens is I said, okay, Tommy, you just have to restart. Go back to the chalkboard. TommyNC2010. Well, what is TommyNC2010? And so, I restarted over again. And I had another catchphrase, but apparently I had a YouTuber contact me and say it was copywritten. And so I had to start using another catchphrase, and that's when the inside fact came into the picture.
Okay.
And so I just started making videos. And it took it a while. I had been making a lot of videos, and it just happened one day. I was walking from my friend Ashley's grandmother's house, and I was just chilling around town. And I walk into the parking lot, and I look across, and I see this lady's eggs on her car. I'm like, that's strange. So I see this lady's eggs on top of her car, and I dash across the parking lot. I'm just dashing.
I seen the video.
And I'm like, ma'am, I grabbed her eggs and I said, ma'am, here are your eggs. And, I hope you have a great day.
The infamous Leafy video that he saw, right, and made comments on?
Yes. And so I said, I make a video with you real quickly, man? She's like, sure, okay. And so she pulled over in the other parking lot. I'm surprised that she didn't just drive off at that point.
That was cool, definitely. You see how everything came in the circumstances? That's crazy because that woman, little did she know by her stopping and doing that video with you, and little did you know by you turning on your camera and doing that video with her, that everything would lead up to, you know, the moment of, you know, where you are now today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so basically, I do that video, and I call my friend James Worley, and I'm like, James, I just shot this video, and I just explained the whole entire situation, and he says to me, Tommy, her eggs make me feel like Superman. I said, no, James, I don't like Superman. He's like, oh, okay, her eggs make me feel like Batman. And I'm like, okay. So I typed that title in there, uploaded it to my channel. It got like a few hundred views at the time, 300 views. It was getting more viral as everything was happening.
Yeah.
And then I get a knock on my door, you know, an email, and then a call on Facebook saying basically, hey, Tommy, we've seen your egg video and we've seen a few of your other videos. We would like to interview you.
Tommy, that video led up to you not only getting onto Taj.0, right? It also led to the whole Leafy situation, right? Which brought you a lot of subs and people like noticing you, which they should have done beforehand. But that one video, her eggs make me feel like Batman, right?
Yes. I try to ask myself every day, like, what's the next big video that's going to...
I think, you know, yeah, of course you're going to occasionally hit on a video that's going to go probably viral, you know, in the world of YouTube. But I think like no matter what you do, now you have that fan base that like, because like I said before, your fans are like loyal to you. They absolutely adore you, your fans, you know? So it's like you're going to have these guys following whatever you do. You know what I mean?
Oh, and I forgot to mention one of the other peoples that has inspired me to be a YouTuber. He goes by the name of Chris Perillo, and he inspired me to start vlogging. Honestly, he really was the person that pushed me into vlogging, and that's how I met my friend Mark Hyder and my friend Anthrit and just a bunch of people that I have met down the road.
Tommy, let me ask you this real quick. Do you remember like about 2 months ago you had that kid that you met on your show where he was starting his own channel, but he was following you around with the camera all the time? He was always tripping and he would sleep over your apartment every once in a while. He was like always tripping over when he was falling with the camera and everything. What happened to that dude? Because he was like all in your videos for a while and then all of a sudden he disappeared.
He did something very extreme, and I did not agree with it. And I'm just going to come out and say it. He basically he put his hand on my friend Ashley, and ridiculous. He did some stuff to her I did not agree with.
And now this is a guy who lives by you, right?
No, he doesn't live by me. I had met him a while back ago, and we just became friends. And he said he had a YouTube.
He was buddy with you for a while there. Like he was like, I'm going to start my own YouTube channel. And
yeah, basically riding on my coattails. Like anybody would want to get to, a YouTuber has over 100K subscribers. People would want to jump on there. He said he was my friend and stuff like that. Now he's talking crap.
He's talking shit about you now?
Yeah, he's been talking shit about me. And
he has his own channel?
Apparently, he has his own channel. I don't know what his
saying stuff on his channel.
No, he's been saying it in comments and his name is J-Rod. That's what the community has started to call him. But his name is Jared. His real name is Jared, and
so he did something inappropriate, and you had to end the friendship at that point.
And then he pinned me up against a wall and tried to threaten like he was going to punch me in the face.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he pinned me up against a wall like he was going to punch me in the face, and I used a bunch of 4-letter words. I was foul-mouthed that night with him.
I can't believe that, man, because he comes off so nice on the videos with you, like he was just there to do whatever you needed, you know what I mean?
When the camera turns off, people are different. Like, there's different... Oh, he could say the same thing about me, and now he's talking shit about me and saying that I smell like crap. My apartment's horrible.
Please. Then why'd he hang out with you so much then?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Why did he, just to get subs? That's my opinion.
He was like, "Oh, I'm starting my own channel." He didn't even have a channel until he became friends with you, correct?
He apparently had another channel, but it got deleted. He had over 1 million subs, and he
told you that, or can you confirm that?
I can't confirm it. He told me that, and everything he said to me was
true.
pretty much just lies.
He would be known if he was a 1 million sub guy. You know what I mean? Most of the 1 million sub people, we all know who they are.
Yeah,
over 1 million subs.
Yeah, he had me fooled.
So do you have a lot of these guys who become friends with you? And I don't mean on YouTube. I mean in real life where you live. Do people try to become friends with you there and you have to question what their motives are or no?
I've had a few people at my work say that they're going to start a YouTube channel.
Oh, because they know you.
I called them sayers. That's what I call them. I say that's what you are. You're just a sayer.
And none of them
they're not a doer. They're not going to actually pick up a vlogging camera and start making videos.
Yeah. Well, see, what they're doing is they think, oh, if Tommy could do it, I could do it. But what they don't understand is you got to be a special person to do vlogging, man. It's not like
no,
anybody can do
that's not true. You have
but not anybody could do it though, man. There are some boring people out there,
No, everybody's an inspiration. Everybody has a goal. That's what my belief. I don't believe there's one single boring person.
Tommy, you would tell me.
Can I say something to your audience real quickly?
Yeah, go ahead.
If you have a goal, do it. If you want to be a superstar, do it. If you want to be a wrestler, do it. If you want to be a vlogger, do it. It's all as simple as, okay, I'm going to make videos. I'm gonna go to the gym, work out, or I could be like Kevin Owens and be fat and be a wrestler at the same time.
Yeah, but Kevin Owens, he's made himself look better as of late, man. It looks like he's dropping some pounds.
Yeah, because WWE threatened to fire him.
Yeah, he had a fucking huge belly. You can't be a wrestler with a fucking. But I got news. Back in the day, wrestlers in the 70s, they were big. There was some fat guys in the 70s. You know what I mean? Look at the Big Show before he lost weight.
What about Kamala?
Yeah, there was a lot of big
Kong
fat
Bundy
guys back there. Yeah.
Yeah, they're both dead.
Dude, Yokozuna.
King Kong Bundy's dead.
Dead Z.
Is King Kong Bundy dead?
I'll tell you right now.
I hope. And I just watched a video the other day on him. I hope he's not
King
dead.
Kong Bundy dead? I think he is.
No. Don't tell me that.
Here's some information for is King Kong Bundy dead?
No, he's not. He's not.
Okay.
He's not.
Good,
now Tommy has to take that back, making fun of fat dudes.
Yeah, here's King Kong Bundy.
Hey, okay, I'm sorry. I'm fat. Okay, I admit that I'm heavy set. I apologize.
Here's King Kong Bundy eating.
Is that actually him eating, or is it just a sound clip?
He's actually eating my asshole.
That's Joe. That's his world tour eating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, listen. Joey's world tour. I love that guy. I freaking love him. You ever seen him, Tommy?
I think I've heard of him. But one of the things also in the community, as I was making YouTube videos, I came across some interesting people. Then I came across one day I was just I didn't realize how deep YouTube went, and I wanted to know if there was people that did reviews on wrestling. I didn't know about the wrestling community, so I look up WrestleMania. Undertaker loses streak, and I see a profile picture of the Undertaker laying in the ring. I click on it, and I hear this "fuck you, motherfucker," and I'm like. That's my boy, Joe Cronin, just flipping out on one of his trolls just as he's calling it. I'm like, I like this guy. Sub. I believe everybody deserves a sub. So I subscribe to his channel. I get the phone number. I'm so scared to call in. I'm just nervous as hell to call into this show, this wrestling show. Yeah. I'm like, they're going to tear me apart. I listen to every call, and I'm like, they're tearing people apart, throwing people over the top rope. And I'm like, oh God. So I call late at night. I'm not supposed to be on the phone. I'm talking, and I'm whispering, and they're talking down to me. And big time. Well, they joke on me. I give them leeway because they're good friends of mine, and I slowly became friends with them. And then Den on Dave after he threw me over the top rope, he got interested in me. He contacted me on Twitter, and he's like, "Hey, Tommy, it's me, Dave." And I'm like, "Who are you?" And I came on his show. You can actually see it on his channel. It's on my favorites list too. The interview I did with Dead on Dave, and then I discovered all these people, and made a bunch of friends here on YouTube. I've made enemies. I've made friends.
Yeah, it comes hand in hand. Enemies and friends on YouTube. I'll tell you that right now. Comes hand in hand. But like you said,
keep your enemies closer. Keep your enemies.
Oh shit! TommyNC2010, don't fuck around, man. He's got a friggin' gun right now. Hey, Tommy.
It's a BB gun, folks. It's a BB gun.
Yeah. From doing that video with the eggs, you had Taj.0 contact you, and then all of a sudden you're on Taj.0. How did you find out about that? How excited were you? Like, what was the process with that?
I was very excited. I couldn't believe that Daniel Tosh wanted me to have me on his show. I showed my parents, and they were kind of like skeptical, and I showed them The Illusion because he was on their episode. That's where I got the boggles from, by the way.
Oh, okay.
From The Illusion. I showed them his episode because he was on there, and they loved it. They loved his episode. They saw some other Daniel stuff, and they were like, "No, Tommy, you're not going on the show." And then I said, whoa. Let me show you an episode of The Illusion. His episode popped up, the first thing to pop up. They watched the episode, and they're like, "Okay, Tommy, we like it. We actually like this. We actually like this show. You could be on it." They're gonna take shots at you, Tommy. You realize? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, they did take shots at you. I'll tell you that.
Nah, not that hard. Not as bad as hard, but he did. Not as
bad. You're right, but he did take shots.
Duck Studios, official Duck Studios. It's not as bad as those guys. Like Daniel Tosh went.
What happened with Duck Studios? What was the deal with them?
Tommy C went after him, and he saw what he was doing, and Tommy C went after him. Tommy C he's in my heart. He's one of my boys, and I have many boys that are my friends and are close to me, that are my good buddies, and I sit down and I have personal conversations with all the time. And Tommy C is one of those. Joe Cronin.
Because he listens to you, right?
Yeah, he listens to me and he talks with me, and they're all my. You
deserve that, man, because you know what, you just talking to you the last week that we've been conversing. Just talking to you, I could tell you're a stand-up person, so you should have people like that are your friend and should listen to you. And YouTube is a hard place to meet people that you can trust and be friends with anyway, and I got a friend that I met from YouTube, and I consider him a friend. I met him through YouTube, but I consider him more as a friend than I do as a YouTube person now in my life. And I've met him on YouTube, and it's crazy to say because it is a rough area to meet people and actually have somebody you could trust or talk to and, be a friend to. And I actually have one from YouTube, which is crazy to say because I didn't think that I'd have a friend from YouTube, but I do. And I could see how, like you said before, there's a lot of enemies, a lot of friends, you know what I mean? And I wouldn't even call them enemies. There's just a lot of haters, and there's people who just want to see you do bad. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you a story. As when my channel was still small, and I still think my channel is relatively small, in my opinion, in my eyes, I think I could be bigger. I think I could get better. I could try to make new content, which just to say I'm going to start doing comedy. Stand-up comedy and some comedy, some stuff with comedy.
Comedy, man, it's fun. It's once you I've done a couple of amateur nights because I have a lot of comedy clubs where I live. I live on Long Island where a lot of comics are from. Like what's his name? Kevin James is from here. Eddie Murphy is from a town over. Howard Stern grew up 2 towns close to me. Who else? Billy Crystal. I mean, a name of comics that have grown up next to me out here on Long Island. And they go to these 2 clubs that are very popular. I don't know if you ever heard of them. One's the Brokerage, and the other one is Governors. Brokerage and Governors. And a lot of the guys that you see on TV right now today, and some of the real famous ones, got their start right from those clubs, So once you learn, like, I could see you doing comedy, Tommy. Definitely, without a doubt, I could see you doing
and some comedy sketches and some other stuff in the future.
See, that's where I'm at my best. I like doing comedy sketches. If I was a part of a team that did like an act, a comedy act, You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like they do on Saturday Night Live type of thing.
Like a skit.
Yeah, like I don't so much like stand up, even though I could do stand up, but not well. I'd rather do like a sketch comedy type of thing. I don't know. What do you consider yourself? More of a sketch comedy guy or a stand up type of guy you want to be?
I see myself to be a multiple kind of guy. I go back and forth.
You notice you never see Bill Murray get up on stage and do stand up?
Yeah, I noticed that.
Right? He don't do that. You know what I mean? Some of the best comics in the world, they won't do stand up. You know what I mean? It's because they just don't do it. And then you have some of the best comics in the world who do stand up. Like, you had legendary comics, Lenny Bruce and Rodney Dangerfield was one of them who would get up there and say the most funniest like one-liners. Like, how do you think of just a couple of words in a row that makes people die laughing like that? It's a very special thing to do that,
Right.
Just to, like when he would come on and be like, hey, my wife told me she wants to go somewhere she's never been. I told her, okay, all right, you go to the kitchen. Okay, all right. Why don't you go there? You quat you. But he was a dirty bastard when he was younger. And he didn't get started. Like you said, if you want to be a superstar, you be it. If you want to be a comedian, you can be it. Just do it. You want to be this, be that. Just do it. Because look at Rodney. Dangerfield didn't become popular until he was until his middle age.
He stopped doing comedy for about 10, 15 years.
He started doing roofing.
Aluminum siding.
He was doing fucking roofing and aluminum siding. Like, matter of fact, he tells a story, Rodney, where the person that he put aluminum siding on their house is sitting in the house and they're watching the Tonight Show, and all of a sudden Rodney Dangerfield comes on the Tonight Show and the wife looks at the husband and says, hey, ain't that the guy who just put up all aluminum siding? And the husband was like, yeah, that's him. She's like, that's not his name. And he was like, that's his comedy name. And she's like, he does this on the side? Like, this guy is fucking putting people's aluminum siding up, and the next night he's on the Tonight Show. You know what I mean? So it's like he didn't get his start till he was like really old. So it goes to show you that you could do different things. Like I think with you, like you said, you have room to grow. You see yourself being bigger than you already are. I do too, because it's like, who knows what you're going to be doing 6 months from now or a year from now. You know what I mean? And I think with the way you think, you're going to latch on to something that's right up your alley, take your channel and what you do to the next level. You know what I'm saying?
And I think the key is to turn off that fucking noise, that negative noise on the outside. You know what I mean? Don't listen to
exactly people like us. Like when we were fucking bashing you.
Well, I'm not even talking about that. Some people just want to say shit to be negative. You know what I mean? They don't have anything positive to say.
think the people who make comments on people's videos, you want to call them trolls, you want to call them this, you want to call them that. It's like, if you have a negative comment, okay, that's cool. You put your negative comment up there. But when people get personal and they start saying, oh, you're ugly or you're this or you're that, that's when it's like, now you know the person's doing it just to fucking hurt you. It's not to give you constructive criticism. It's not to say something and hope that you could do it better the next time. It's to fucking hurt you.
It's because they're acting out. They hate themselves, so they have to deflect from their
when
bullshit.
It's written down on a comment board, I think that's where it's at its worst. You know what I'm saying?
And because Tommy, you got to remember, you're doing something that 99% of people that'll ever live don't get to do, and that's doing something that you love.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. You know what I mean? How many people get up every day and they go to a job they hate?
Yeah.
I seen when with the episode you had Keemstar on, okay?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, there was a couple of things that I could comment all day on that video, but you just handled it as good as you could the whole time. I mean, Keemstar is definitely a character to handle, and you handled it as well as you could. But the funny thing was, and I'm not trying to make fun of anything, because I know a person who does the same thing. But the other night, right, you asked me to come into the room, and you told me, do not talk shit to my friends, right? You told me, do not do that, or else I'll kick you right out, right?
Yeah.
You told me that. Was one of the guys that were in there, was one of those guys the guy that was on that show that Keemstar was messing with?
Yes, that's him.
And I know exactly. I'm not even, you notice I didn't even say it, right? I'm not even going to go there because I'm not making fun of anybody. I just was curious to know. It was the same guy, right?
Yeah, same guy.
Now, what's the deal with those guys? Those guys work with you? You consider those guys friends?
Yeah, they're friends of mine. Mark and Anthony are both my friends, and I've known them for.
a good person. And then here comes Keemstar, comes in and fucking rips him a new ass. It was like, oh my God, man, like right away. And I felt bad for your friend because he kind of was like, oh man, he was like trying to laugh it off, you know? He was laughing it off.
It was just Keemstar being I would say a dick, because he's just like, he sees Mark with all these ponies and he just
whatever you like, man, who the hell is anybody in this life to judge anybody what they're into? I mean, really, what is there to judge? If you're into fucking G.I. Joes, you're into them. If you're into horse racing, you're into it. If you know, whoever's into what? If you're into guns, you're into guns. If you're into this, you're into, I mean, who
do I have
gives
your
a shit?
attention, Keemstar?
Let me ask you this, Tommy. Those other two guys, the two guys that are like producers / editors, those guys you worked with and like they had like a little rocky relationship with you. What do they do, those guys? They have their own YouTube channel too?
You mean the Boston Boys?
Yeah.
Well, okay. So what happened was after after MTV, I started becoming a YouTuber and making YouTube videos. And the Boston Boys found my videos and they started messaging me on Facebook and saying a bunch of things I didn't agree with. I'm like, huh? Who are these people? And I finally get them. I borrow a camera from my friend. That's when, you know, Facebook had just gotten its video app. You know, they have gotten very smart with their video app now. Have you noticed? It's very much changed. It's changed the game. Facebook has completely digitalized, and they, you know, you can call people on the phone on Facebook. So I call him up, and I'm like, I see this blurry, big, fluffy, you know, gentleman, and I'm like, hello, who are you? He's like, hi, I'm Alex. And just this I'll just say that they smoke, and I see this cloudy, smoky room.
They look like two characters, those guys, man. Like two
potheads, basically.
They're funny guys. I love them. Just from the video you did with them alone, I was like, these guys are great.
Well, you know, there's some sour grapes to that story also, but that's the reason why I don't work with them anymore. But they're still my best friends, and one of their friends that I worked with, everybody in the community thinks I hate this curse, but this is the Foul-Mouth Network.
Yeah, you're allowed to.
And yes, folks, I have rights to curse here because I'm on the Foul-Mouth Network. Okay.
Yeah, you're not on your network, man.
Yeah. So if I wanted to call this guy a cunt, I can call him a cunt.
There you go.
I
prefer twat.
I love hearing you say that, Tommy. Holy.
Listen here, cunt. You are a cunt and nothing but a cunt. You understand me? I am colossal as crazy.
I can't believe I'm hearing Tommy say cunt. I can't fucking believe it. I love it. I love it.
You want to hear my impression of colossal as crazy?
Good.
Hello, I am Colossal is Crazy, and welcome to Catch 33.
Welcome to
and
my
Tommy C, the human laugh box.
This is indeed Colossal is Crazy.
So you said that you had like kind of a rocky relationship with these guys, though, but it started out good, right?
Yeah, it started out good. What happened?
Still friends.
We're still friends. I'm not business partners with them anymore, but. What happened was Drew basically was being a troll to me, and he would troll me and say things on my show. You can go back and watch some of the old episodes I used to do on
even while they were working on your show for you, like working on the really?
Yes, they would push my buttons and stuff like that, and they
like breaking ball.
And so I at one point, he actually called me. What pissed me off was he basically called me a pedophile. He basically said
that's just ridiculous.
He says that I would want to be, I would be a good mall Santa Claus because I like little kids sitting on my lap.
Oh my God! Like, come on, man.
That's basically calling me a pedophile, and I'm like.
So you remained friends with this guy even after that, huh?
Even after that, and I kind of like terminated my friendship with him for a while. And stopped talking to him, and then everybody in the community is like, "We want Drew back. Drew made Tommy Talks." And just to be honest with you, the Boston Boys did create Tommy Talks. They did give me the idea for the backbone of Tommy Talks. I said, "Tommy, you should really have a a talk show, and you should call it Tommy Talks, and we should have different segments. The first episode, oh my gosh, the first episode, I just want to go.
Now, how do you meet up with so many of these guys that you wind up working with, and some of them you have relationships with, some of them you part ways?
I just bump into them. On the internet, I just bumped into them one day.
Yeah.
And I made a comment to somebody else, and then found out about this other person. And I just slowly worked up to all these people I know.
So let me ask you this right now, Tommy. How old are you again now?
I'm 26 years old right now.
26 years old. And you started this in 2010, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you think you'd be where you are right now? Or did you think what did you think you'd be when you started this?
No,
like,
man.
Obviously you had high expectations, but obviously you had high expectations, or else you wouldn't have got involved with it. But is it everything that you expected, or is it different than what you really planned it to be?
It's hard to think of where I am today and where I was yesterday, and it's just like I take it as step to step to what I'm doing today.
Yeah. Tommy, honestly, it shows that you're willing to give back to the same community that you are coming up in, and by doing an interview with us. And I want to thank you so much for coming in here and dealing with us, and hearing what we've said in the past and all this and that. We know Tommy for who Tommy is, and like I said, we bullshitted off the air now, and like I said, thank you for coming on here and giving us the opportunity to interview you. And there was a lot of things that I did want to know as far as with MTV and all that, and you definitely are somebody we enjoy watching, and we wish you the best of luck down the road. And we know that you're always gonna put your heart and your soul into what you do, and we definitely appreciate that, man.
Thank you. I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, like I said, we want to thank the great TommyNC2010. Go check him out on his channel, Tommy Talks. He does vlogging. I mean, you guys know him better than you know us, but if you don't know about Tommy, go check him out. He's one hell of a guy. You can see everything right there, right on his videos, man. It's great. Anything in closing? Yeah, you want to give us your old slogan over there?
All right. Subscribe, support, stay positive.
The great TommyNC2010.
Keeping you on the inside fact.
Nice, man.